Welcome to our Sunday service. This is the best way to start today. I heard somebody laughing this morning. I am part of the shared worship ministry team which creates services when our beloved Reverend Elizabeth Stevens is not speaking. Currently, Reverend Elizabeth is on sabbatical, a time of reflection and rejuvenation. It is also a time when members of the shared worship team take over and try its hand at leading worship. Today will be proof that you never know what might happen. I'd like to extend a special welcome and a warning to people joining us for the first time. We don't always do it this way. We're very glad you're here. You may be needed as witnesses. If you've come in person, you should have received a welcome packet and an information card in it. If you fill that out and drop it in the offering basket, we'll be in touch to support you in finding a way into our community. If you're joining us online, there's a link on our website to an electronic version of the same document. Our welcoming committee members have yellow name tags and can answer questions or help you find the emergency exit should you need it. Now, whether you're new or not, please consider staying. Staying for coffee and conversation after the service, either downstairs or in our fellowship hall or in our Zoom room. And looking out there, is my daughter here to witness this? Good. Now let's say our words of welcome together. Whether this is your first or your 1,000th Sunday with us, and whether you strolled, rolled, Zoomed, or danced in, we are glad you chose to join us. We are one people of many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders. All are welcome here. Now we'll take a moment to say hello across the technical divide. We want to make sure everybody is in on this. So first, we'll show the people who are joining us on Zoom. If you're at home, turn on your camera, and if you're willing to show that you're part of this, and wave. Now, people here, wave back. Thank you. We do have a couple of announcements. Yoga, there's free yoga at church, and it's going to begin a new session. It's led by Jody Nicotragan, and it will start in September 2nd, Tuesdays, 5:30 to 6:45 on the 3rd floor library. Again, I'll repeat, free for UUCP members. It's a great and gentle way to strengthen and stretch. Check the weekly email for registration. Talk to me if you don't get that email. I'd be happy to help. We have some very special guests joining us today. They are from the Habitat for Humanity. Outreach Coordinator Virginia Martinson. Yay! And Jake and his son Connor. And they are the proud owners of a new Habitat home. And I know many people in this congregation are important and excited supporters of the work that's done by Habitat Humanity. Please take time after the service to chat with Virginia, Jake, and Connor after the service downstairs. This is the most important announcement, however. There is a yellow jacket nest on the patio outside, seriously. And when you walk out the door, don't turn left and wander over the pavers, and people are working on it, trying to get rid of it. But if you just stick to the sidewalk, the pavement that goes straight to the street, you should be safe. So, the land on which our church is built is part of the ancestral homeland of the Nimipu, the people, mistakenly called the Nez Perce by the early French-speaking trappers and traders. We acknowledge the land is held in sacred kinship since time immemorial. The land and its peoples suffered immeasurable trauma brought by Euro-American society, and we are working with its resilient peoples to show respect and contribute to the healing and nurturing of this Hatzetwetes, this precious land and all its peoples. We are hoping that people at home have a chalice or candle to light and something to light it with, and together we're going to light our chalice now. This is the way we always start our service, and it connects us to Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world. And the words we say together. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek and seek to share. Time for our opening words. Does everybody have some? When you came, you should have been handed a card. If you didn't, raise your hand, and some will be brought to you. Keep your hands up till you get your cards. So it's a classic of the humor canon. It may have been the first joke you ever told. It's a knock-knock joke. Take a moment. I'm filling time here. Take a moment and read your joke through. Make sure you have an idea of timing. Timing in humor is important. Timing in handing out things is helpful too. We've got a few more people. Okay, so now that you've got a card, you've read your card, you're ready, turn to somebody near you and tell a joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Nana. None of your business. Knock, knock. Who's there? Dozen. Doesn't anyone want to let me in? Knock, knock. Who's there? Tank. You're welcome. All right. So today you have now figured it out. Today our topic is laughter. Zena Hartung and I have been meeting and thrashing it back and forth. To talk about laughter is like opening a box of related topics. You don't know what's going to come out. The knock-knock jokes that we've been using helped you get you in the mood and helped you experience that feeling of laughter, shared laughter, making somebody laugh and laughing yourself. Laughter and its cousin satire and its genre, the land of humor, are in a big tent. We hope to explore some of the sideshows that carry important messages. But let's relax and sing a song together. Opening hymn, Let It Be a Dance, number 311. with some of the same bit of joyful spirit, let's take a moment to engage in the practice of generosity together. For those of you who are able to make a financial contribution, the logistics are on your screen. We typically give away all the cash of our Sunday offering to charities and missions that align with our values, a program called Month of Sundays. This month, we are collecting donations to fund purchases of food for our little free pantry that's right outside the door. And you probably have noticed as you walked in, it's like really empty right now. It takes money to buy the food that we fill, and people every day, every hour, come to check out that pantry and get help from it, which demonstrates both the need and the importance. In the spirit of love and for the continuing work of this church, we will now practice generosity. While listening to Poisoning Pigeons in the Park.
No. Horse named Bill.
A horse named Bill.
With his eye teeth in the barber's left shoulder. I had a gal and her name was Daisy, and when she sang, the cat went crazy with deliriums and St. Vituses and all kinds of cataleptics. One day she sang a song about a man who turned himself inside out, and he jumped into the river. He was so very sleepy.
I'm going out in the woods next year and shoot for deer and not for deer. Well, I ain't. I'm a great sharpshootress. At shooting birds, I am a beaut. There is no bird I cannot shoot. In the eye, in the ear, in the teeth, and in the fingers.
I went up in a balloon so big the people on earth looked like a pig, like a mouse, like a katydid, like flies and like fleases. The balloon turned up with its bottom side higher and fell on the wife of a country squire. She made a noise like a dog hound, like a steam whistle, and like dynamite. In Frisco Bay there lives a whale, and she eats pork chops by the bale, by the hat box, by the pillbox, by the hogshead, and by the schooner. Her name is Lena, and she is a peach, but don't leave food within her reach, or babies, or nursemaids, or chocolate ice cream sodas. She loves to laugh, and when she smiles, you just see teeth for miles and miles, and tonsils, and spare ribs, and things too fierce to mention. She knows no game, so when she plays, she rolls her eyes for days and days, and she vibrates, and she yodels, and breaks the 10 Commandments. What could you do in a case like that? What can you do but stamp on your hat or on your mother or on your toothbrush and on anything that's helpless?
It's time for a meditation. I've heard about laughing meditations, so we are going to try it. I know it's something people do. I Googled it on YouTube, and I know that's kind of mixing my platforms, but yeah. So what's the worst thing that can happen? You will look silly. Works for me. So let's start by getting loose. Shrug your shoulders. Let them go up and then down. Shake your arms back and forth a little bit. Kind of rubbery, no bones. Take a deep breath. Make your stomach stick out. Let it out. Again. This time, let it out with a whoosh. And again. This time when it comes out, make it go ha, ha, ha. And again. Ha, ha, ha. Now try ho, ho, ho. Ha. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Hee, hee, hee. Hee, hee, hee. Now look at somebody while you're doing it. Look at that, somebody else. Look at somebody else. Now see if you can make it into a chuckle. A chuckle. So how did it feel? Could you feel it? You can feel it here. You can feel it here. Maybe you can even feel it here. To laugh just kind of changes everything, the chemistry of everything. So it's fun to see people relax and laugh. Thank you. We have more music. This time we will be poisoning pigeons in the park.
Just a couple words about the song. It was written by Tom Lehrer, who wrote all sorts of wonderful, snarky songs decades ago, and who died just this last week at the age of 97. He had a good long run, so there's a little bit in memory of him. And I just learned this week while reading up on this song that there actually was a context. In the 1950s and early 60s in Boston and other cities around the Northeast, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service helped cities try to control their pigeon population by, I am not joking, putting out whole grain seeds that were laced with strychnine. So, here we go. Spring is here, spring is here. Life is skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do, don't you?
Of course you do.
But there's one thing that makes spring complete for me and makes every Sunday a treat for me. All the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon when you're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park. When they see us coming, the birdies all try and hide, but they still go for peanuts when coated with cyanide. The sun shining bright, everything seems all right when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. We've caused notoriety and caused much anxiety in the Audubon Society with our games. They call it impiety, lack of propriety, and quite a variety of unpleasant names. But it's not against any religion to want to dispose of a pigeon.
Actually, it is. We, members of the congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part.
So if Sunday you're free, why don't you come with me and we'll poison the pigeons in the park? And maybe we'll do in a squirrel or two. pigeons in the park. We'll murder them all amid laughter and merriment, except for the few we take home to experiment. The skulls slowly quickening with each drop of strychnine we feed to our pigeon. It just takes a smidgen to poison a pigeon in the park.
Boy, my part. Okay, why do we laugh? Experts tell us it's an inborn social behavior. Children as young as a few months old are known to laugh, especially when they see the faces of those that they've come to know. Primates all respond to tickling. Did you know that? They giggle. And we can then label laughing as sort of an involuntary thing. And since it is most prevalent in groups, we can say laughter is a social behavior. It's even contagious, communicating and building connections between people in a primitive way. Our gut tells us that other people will not harm us. The laugh is a momentary peace gesture. That bit of an exhale carries a lot of meaning. Laughter is powerful. We know that. Mark Twain said, "Against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand." We want to explore that aspect of humor. We want to dig into the tool used by stand-up comedians, the world of humor beyond the pratfalls and the puppy antics that we watch on our social media screens. We want to explore the roots of comedians like Lenny Bruce and why his deliberate and in-your-face manner got him in trouble with the law. We want to look at other classic and even maybe non-Western comedians, those who use the power of humor to confront oppression. Commentators around the world know and use this power. So, we've put together, actually only an hour before you arrived, a skit. Can I invite the skit actors up now, please? Hopefully you've all got your mics.
We also need 3 volunteers to form an oppressed line.
Who wants to be oppressed?
Anybody want to be oppressed? Behind Debbie over here.
Mm-hmm.
And while people are gathering for our skit, I'd like to introduce ourselves.
Yes,
We have as citizen number 42,
behind me,
Debbie.
behind me, behind
Citizen
me.
number 42, Debbie. We have Agent Sternly, played by Margaret. And we have Agent Glee, played by John. Did I get it right? I'm using the script without names, so yeah. Tom is Agent Glee. Supervisor Blight is Casey. Trainer Joyless is
John.
Thank you. And we have a voice of the system, played by Patricia.
Hold on, we're making sure this mic is on.
Yeah. See, I
Welcome to the Ministry of Emotional Standards. Today's authorized feelings are mild anxiety, tepid hope, and building paranoia.
Let's keep the tone compliant, everyone. Remember, mirth is a gateway drug.
Do I confiscate any jokes over here? Or add them to the banned speech list?
Only if they contain puns, satire, or any reference to goats, or crowns on goats. Knock-knock jokes were banned last quarter. Irony is still legal, but only if it's completely unintentional.
Hi. I'm here to get clearance for a spontaneous chuckle. I'd like to chuckle this evening, maybe after dinner. I brought Form 18C in triplicate.
A chuckle? Was this provoked by a real-life event or an illegal memory?
Well, someone in the elevator today tried to use voice recognition to make it go to the 5th floor, and it just kept saying, "Command not recognized," while we went up and down for 10 minutes. It was surreal. Can I use the word surreal?
Laughing at system malfunctions? That is borderline insurrectional.
Sounds dangerously spontaneous.
Wait. What's the harm in laughing at the elephant?
Laughter leads to thinking. Thinking leads to doubt. Doubt leads to choice. And choices lead to chaos.
Reminder, independent thought is incompatible with emotional security.
Okay, then what am I allowed to feel?
Regret, cautious gratitude, approved guilt, and pride in collective compliance. Also
mild amusement, but only during government-sponsored variety events.
This is so absurd. I might cry.
That is authorized. We have tissues. Form 7M.
I joined this department to keep people safe, not to police their giggles.
Don't be naive, trainee. Humor is dangerous. Ask any empire that's ever fallen.
Unauthorized laughter detected. Smile suppression in service.
What happens if I just laugh anyway?
You'll destabilize everything.
Let's find out.
No, stop! If people realize they can laugh without permission.
Error. Emotional dissidence. Reboot. Today's authorized feelings: curiosity, mischief, and joy.
Yes, thank you for being oppressed, yes.
Okay, so we have demonstrated some social commentary under the guise of the few actors doing give and take. To demonstrate how our regime might try to control us, we've imagined a scenario where even an unrehearsed emotional response might be censored. Comedy has that subversive quality, making it shocking or offensive. A comedian might take a sacred topic like motherhood, and with a straight face and good timing, drop kick our most hallowed assumptions into the left field. We come to comedy for that very thing, to get our assumptions stripped away, to show us life skewered like meat on a stick. What if we lived in a society that doesn't give us permission to poke fun at the icons of our culture? Then what? Lenny Bruce, mentioned earlier, moved around the country doing stand-up comedy shortly after World War II. That was a time when Americans were in a mindset that sought to reclaim some sense of normalcy, a fabled past when life was ordered and predictable, to put the war and the losses behind them. Lenny Bruce opened up those wounds with a humor that broke all norms. His language was raw and he didn't hold back, and for that he was jailed 6 times, hauled off by local constables to face charges of lewd behavior. But people came to his comedy acts whenever he was available. People treasured his willingness to speak a truth casually with a cigarette hanging out of the side of his mouth. Lenny Bruce wasn't the only one. In the black community, there were comedians who spoke in bars and speakeasies and about the injustices perpetrated on them by their white neighbors. They used humor to share the bigotry they experienced every day. That tradition carries on today, of course, but these earliest comedians, from Stephen Fetchit, a black actor who dumbed down his performance to conform to a stereotype, there was Amos and Andy, Beulah, Red Fox, Dick Gregory, Flip Wilson, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. There were black comedy clubs where Chris Rock and Whoopi Goldberg got their start. The rise of the Fox network was boosted by the popularity of The Cosby Show. But it all came with a price. Stand-up comics were labeled as offensive or shocking, modern-day lowlife. It didn't stop them. In fact, today we see our comedians of all colors speaking truth to power and suffering the consequences. A side note, it's not here. I suppose everybody knows that Stephen Colbert's been given the boot. Today's comedy is available 24/7 on our devices. Often the commentary we see in The Daily Show is more popular than the regular news outlets. More popular, it seems, than our historians who dutifully document their commentary with facts. Here's an example. Recently, Heather Cox Richardson, a well-known historian and commentator who has a daily blog on politics, commented on the news of the day. In a recent blog, she gave a clear assessment of how President Trump's own conspiracy machine, made up of his primary base of voters and supporters, began to turn on him when he tried to minimize the importance of sharing the Epstein files. He wanted his base to move on. His base would have none of it. HCR, as she is known, had about 334,000 views on YouTube, and that's a lot of eyeballs for a scholar. Simultaneously, Jordan Klepper, a comedian with The Daily Show, and his frequent sidekick, Michael Costa, charted Trump's long history with Epstein, using visuals and irony heavily with looks between them. That segment got 2.9 million views. And last I checked, it's still being shared. You might say it's gone viral. Humor, and especially political humor, has an audience. So you may wonder, while I'm lining up the greats, why I haven't spoken of Saturday Night Live. I heard a whistle. Late night TV, going back decades, has held a particular place in our world of comedy. SNL, as it is fondly known by many, is an iconic placeholder in the world of U.S. comedy. It's earned that stature because it is the spawning place of so many countercultural voices in the world of comedy. I want you to imagine a place where the most subversive voices in a culture are gathered to pierce the reigning assumptions of our time. SNL has used comedy to criticize every administration since its inception. The genre of late night television where comedians push the boundaries of what is acceptable to put on the airways has helped maintain our sense of freedom, our sense that we are a people who can let radicals have their say, where the promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness includes everyone, all the people, the fringes of our society, every bit as much as the center. Comedy is that big tent. Comedy is the place where you can be yourself, whatever the color of your skin, no matter where you were born or who you love. That's what makes laughter so subversive. The very fact of the laugh says we are free. Nancy and I are going to do the last skit. And this one's heavily borrowed from George Carlin. He was known for decades for deconstructing everyday speech.
Ready? There are 400,000 words in the English language. Only 7 are censured.
7? Just 7 out of 400,000? That's not a language problem, that's a freedom problem.
Right. Tells me that words aren't dirty. People are.
Speaking of freedom, ever notice that they call them rights?
Yeah, rights, like something permanent.
But if someone can take them away, they're not rights, they're privileges.
And privileges belong to the people who own them, who own everything. The same folks who own the news and the judges.
Hey, and while we're at it, they want you to worship the invisible man up in the sky.
Yeah, the man who watches everything you do every second of the day.
He's got a list of 10 things he doesn't want you to do.
And if you do any of them, he's got a special place full of fire and smoke and torture.
But hey, he loves us.
You ever hear those people say, save the planet?
The planet is fine. Yeah, Earth's been through a lot. Dinosaurs, volcanoes, ice ages. Earth will shake us off like a bad case of fleas.
And while our planet and its people suffer, they'll keep changing the words.
Right. Shell shock becomes battle fatigue, then operational exhaustion.
And now it's PTSD. You can hardly hear the pain anymore. It's like it doesn't exist.
That's what power does. It buries the truth in syllables.
You know what this country needs?
Fewer people who sleep through their freedom and more who wake up and smell the consequences.
Because as the man said,
it's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
We have one last hymn. When the Spirit says do.
It's number 1024.
actually sounded like the end, but we got a little more for you folks. Okay, no, we've already been there. We done that. All right. Yeah, take a deep breath. It's been a long morning. I'm almost there.
Once.
Oh, once. There we are. Once. Yeah. Once in a faraway land, a king grew tired of laughter. It's undignified, he declared. From now on, no one shall laugh in my kingdom unless I approve the joke personally. So the royal advisors began to send jokes to the king for judgment, and most were rejected. One day, a traveling fool arrived in the village. He told a story so ridiculous about a fish who ran for mayor and won on a platform of universal puddles. The entire village broke out in laughter. The royal guards dragged that fool to the palace. The king said, "Do you know the law? No laughter without royal approval." The fool bowed low and said, "Oh, your majesty, I did not tell them to laugh. I merely described the world as it is." The king frowned. "And what kind of world is that?" The fool said, "One where laughter finds us, whether we ask for it or not. One where the truth is sometimes too slippery for straight faces." The king tried to stay stern, but he was distracted by the idea of a fish running for mayor, campaigning through puddles in tiny, tiny finny shoes. Oh, he let out a chuckle. And that, they say, is when the law was quietly forgotten.
Our musical benediction. Remember, laughter is older than kings. It slips through the cracks in the wall. It reminds us that we are free, not because we are in control, but because we can laugh when we are not. May we go from here with laughter in our pockets and stories on our tongues. And when the world forgets to laugh, may we remind them joyfully, gently, together, because against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand. Join us for coffee downstairs. Come back next week. Oh, the chalice. Okay. We have some words to say. We extinguish this chalice